X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are we? Doing a little factoring review, help you get ready for next week. And we're going to be moving to the quadratic formula. That's what I just sang for you. Oh, you want me to sing it again? Sure. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Yeah, that's the quadratic formula, and the quadratic formula is really cool. We're not quite ready to get to it. We've got to do a little factoring review. So here we go. I've got, I think, 5 factoring type problems here. Hold on, I got a couple things on or open that I don't want on or open. Sorry about that. Let me quit that, and let me quit my iTunes as well. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're going to do 5 little factoring problems here, and you got to review factoring. If you need to go back and watch other videos, go to Khan Academy, watch videos, etc. We'll be practicing these in class. Okay, remember to send me questions you might have about the review sheet. It would be awesome. Or, yeah, that's due Monday. You can give it to me Friday if you'd like to. All right, problem number 1 is like the one we did in class on Thursday morning. It's a GCF problem. We're going to factor by GCF, and it looks to me like the GCF here is going to be x. And so I'm going to factor out the GCF of x. And when I do that, I'm going to have a 3x left and a minus 5. Now, it says it equals 0. I know I have a multiplication problem. I have to take the 2 factors. I have to take the factor of x, that first factor, and the factor of 3x minus 5. And I set them both equal to 0. Because if the product equals 0, then one of the factors must be 0. So I'm going to solve both equations that I wrote here in red for x. Well, geez, the first one's done. X equals 0. That turns the whole equation to 0. The second one, I'll have to listen to Saddam. 3x equals 5. Divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals, let's go with 1 and 2/3. So my solution set for x is 0 or 1 and 2/3. I was so pleased to see so many of you remembering how to write that. And I know sometimes we have trouble making the little brace, but that's okay. All right, now remember that if we graph that, those are the 2 places where the parabola will cross the x-axis. Now, to show you what's up here, let me see. I've got it. If you can see this, it says www.desmos.com/calculator. This is a free online graphing calculator, and you just type in your equation. So, for example, it's what, 3x squared. Don't worry about that because it's, I don't know if you realize this. How do I backspace? I thought that would do it. Oh, it does backspace, but it doesn't delete. Oh, there it is. Okay. It gives me y equals, and if I put 3, look at that, it gives me the y equals 3 equation. Now I'm not done writing it, but it gives me the equations as I change them. And so as soon as I put an x there, it turns it to a line with a slope of 3 going through the origin. And then when I square it, well, now it's a parabola. And what was it? Was it minus 5x squared? I can't remember. Yeah, it's minus 5x squared. And so, oops, wrong thing. Sorry about that. There we go. And so I've got to go minus 5x squared. Okay? And I don't have to put equals 0. I have to put equals y. Uh-oh, something's wrong. That doesn't look like the right equation. Oh, silly me. I had a silly mistake there, yeah. It's only supposed to be 5x. Okay, and so, there we go. Now remember, it crossed the x-axis at 0. We got x equals 0 for our solution, right? Remember that? Well, look at that, x equals 0. It's crossing right there. And the other one was at 1 and 2/3. Now, check this out. This is going 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blocks to get to 2, which means that 1 is here, right? And it means that this mark is 1.5. Well, that's a little bit more than, look at that. It's 1.667, but it's not really 7. It's really 1.6666 on forever, or better yet, 1.6 repeating. And if you know what 0.6 repeating is a fraction, you'd know this is 1 2/3. And so it was really cool. This isn't my first time on the site, but I can hover over that 0 or that x-intercept, and you see it matches. So that's pretty cool. Now, if I want to get rid of that, I just go click, maybe. Oh, I'm still in draw mode. That's my problem. Let me go to eraser mode. Let me get rid of all my extra stuff here. And to get rid of this equation, I can just close it. All right, now I have a blank graph again. So let's go back to our factoring page, and let's try to factor this one. Oh, we did this one in class, didn't we? Let's change this. Let's make this x squared, and let's go with plus 8x and plus 15. All right, so I go A, B, C. Easy as 1, 8, 15. And the product of A and C, remember, ignoring signs, is just 15. And then I need two factors of 15 that add, because the 15 is positive, that add to get what number? 8. Okay, so we're going to get x squared. Looks like it's going to be 3 plus 5. X squared plus 3x plus 5x plus 15 equals 0. And now it's time to factor by grouping. So I'm going to group, and I'm going to group, always grabbing that sign, put a plus in between. And now I'm going to GCF. I'm going to GCF the first quantity and get x times the quantity of x plus 3. Oh, excuse me. And then the GCF here is a 5, so I'm going to pull out a positive 5, and I'll have an x plus 3. Notice I repeated the x plus 3 in both terms, both sides, and I'll get the quantity of x plus 3. What's left? X plus 5. Now I have to solve this one, and I'll get x plus 3 equals 0, and x plus 5 equals 0. And sure enough, x is going to equal -3 or -5. Now, if I go graph it, that means this parabola is going to cross at -3 or -5. And just to demonstrate it again, here, let me get in arrow mode. There we go. Just to demonstrate it again. Oh, I forgot the equation. What was the equation? It was x squared plus 8x plus 15. Okay, got it. So, right there, I need an x squared. I need a positive 8x, and then a positive 15. And notice I didn't even put the y equals in. All right, I'm going to draw mode here. And if you look, this is -2. Right there is -3. I don't even need to be in draw mode. This is so cool. I like this site a lot. All right, and there's -5. Okay. All right, so I found the two zeros. Okay, let's jump on down here. And this one here, you can do the ABC method if you like. You can go A, B, C. Easy as 25, 0, 16, and it's actually -16. When I do the product of 16 and 25, well, 4 times 25 is 100, and so 4 times 4 is 16, so there's going to be 400. So you see what I'm doing in my mind? I'm thinking about 25 times 16 like this. Because this is an easy multiplication, I get 100, and then that's an easy multiplication, I get 400. So my factors are, or my product is 400. Now, this is a harder way to do this one. I'm going to do it this harder way because the numbers are so friendly, but I'm going to show an easier way just to refresh your memory. So I multiply them and I get 400. I need two factors of 400 that subtract to get 0 because there's 0 x's, right? Well, that's an easy one. How about 20 minus 20? So I'm going to go 25x squared plus 20x minus 20x minus 16. That'll equal 0. Time for grouping. So the GCF here looks like it's going to be a 5x. And I'll be left with a 5x plus 4. And then I will pull out a GCF of -4 here. And I'll get a 5x plus a 4. And it looks like I wrote that 5x plus 4 twice, so that'll be a GCF. I'll pull that out, and I'll be left with 5x minus 4 equals 0. Now I'll solve the two pieces. I'll solve 5x plus 4 equals 0. X is going to equal negative 4/5. And then I'll solve the other one, and I'll get 5x minus 4 equals 0. And that will end up being positive 4/5. Okay, if you're not sure how I did that, make sure you ask. I'm doing it kind of quick. So my two zeros are going to be at 4/5 and negative 4/5. Well, let's go to the graphing calculator and see if that's right, first of all. And so what I have, 25x squared minus 16. Okay, so let's see. I can just close that. Oop, I'm still in draw mode. Sorry about that. Okay, so I need 25x squared minus 16. And you can't see the vertex. It's way down, pretty low, probably at 0, negative 16. There's probably a way to zoom out. There we go. Now I can see the vertex. But let's go here. Oh, look at that, 0.8. What is 4/5 as a decimal? Oh, 8/10. Yep, sure is. And this one's negative 8/10. Now, you don't have to zoom out. You can zoom in if you want. And then it becomes really clear. Look at that. I zoomed in so much it told me 8/10 right there. So it's pretty darn cool. I'm really excited I just found this. Hopefully you can use it. All right. Now, number 4. I promised I would do this an easier way. So let me erase all of this. Okay. And what I noticed right off the bat is that 25x squared is a perfect square, right? And 16 is a perfect square. This is the difference of perfect squares pattern. It's so much simpler. I can do it so much quicker. If you didn't learn it the first time, here's your chance. Got a second chance. I love second chances, all right? So the square root of that is going to be 5x. So I'm going to have two quantities of 5x. The square root of that is 4. I'll have 4 in both quantities. This is a negative. I'll have a plus and a minus. If it was a positive, they'd have to be the same. Of course, if it was just a binomial and a positive, it might not be factorable. All right, so I'm not going to do any more of that. I mean, you can solve that. It's going to be the same exact solution, but see how quickly I factored it. Okay, now number 9, I'm not going to explain how to do ABC method, okay? The ABC method, you know how to do it. You've been warmed up. You'll have to add the two factors to get negative 30, okay? Instead, I happen to notice that this is a perfect square, and the square root is 3x. And this is a perfect square. The square root is 5. In this one, I'm going to get two quantities of 3x and 5, and there's a plus in the back, so it's a Wendy's double stack. That sign shows up twice. Boom. And if you go to solve these, you're going to get 3x minus 5 equals 0. And 3x minus 5 equals 0. It'd be silly to solve it twice. Aren't you going to get the same solution? This will be a situation where, like Jake Birchstresser came up and drew a parabola that was sitting on the x-axis. This is going to sit on the x-axis. So 3, so x is going to equal 1 2/3. That's my only solution. Let's go to the graphing calculator. Okay, so x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Yes, it does, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're not using it yet, but I'm just trying to get you totally comfortable with it. Let's see, what was it? Plus, I can't remember, was it 16? No, it was 25. Okay. All right, 25. Oops, for some reason it went subscript on me. Didn't mean that. 20, no, it's still in subscript mode. Okay, let's go with x, and then 25. Why is it doing that? Oh, silly me. It's doing a subscript because I didn't put plus 25. Uh-oh, I don't see the parabola. Maybe if I put a y equals in front. Oh, I know, I'm zoomed in too far. I'm looking at the wrong part of the graph. Let's default zoom. There we go. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong part of the graph. Okay, now, look at this. 1.6 repeating, or 1 2/3. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, yeah, I'm a math geek. I know it. And I get so excited about this stuff. I think it's so cool. All right, problem 5, you have to do problem 5 using the ABC method. No other method is going to work. Well, there are other methods. I shouldn't say it that way. None of the other methods we learned are going to work. I taught you the ABC method because I think it's the easiest way to do it. So I multiply 6 times 7, and I ignore the sign for now. And I know I'm going to subtract the 2 factors of 42. Now, if you see the 2 factors of 42 that subtract to get positive 11 right off the bat, you go ahead and use them. You know what? I'm seeing 14 and 3. Yeah, 14 times 3. Some of you won't see that right away. You can list them out systematically. 2 and 21, 3 and 14, and as soon as you see it, stop. So negative 3, positive 14. Okay, so I'm going to write 6x squared. And I could write the 14x first, but I'm going to write the negative 3x first because I like the GCF here better. Then I need a positive 14x minus 7. That'll equal 0. All right, so that. And I have a GCF here of 3x. That'll be 2x minus 1. And then I have a 7 and a 2x minus 1. All right, so I've got a GCF one more time. I'll pull out that 2x minus 1. I'll be left with 3x plus 7 as a quantity. And now I solve the two pieces. 2x minus 1 equals 0. By the way, x will be 1/2, right? And then 3x plus 7 equals 0. And x will be negative 7/3, which as a mixed number is negative 2 1/3. Okay, I'll go ahead and graph this. What was it? 6x squared plus 11x minus 7. So 6x squared plus 11x minus 7. So let's see here. 6x squared plus 11x minus 7. And there we go. And we can zoom out if you want to see the vertex. And we're going to learn how to find the vertex, okay? But the important thing right now are the zeros or the x-intercepts. Look at 1/2. I said x was 1/2, didn't I? And the other one I said was x is negative 1 2/3. Oh, negative 2 1/3, excuse me. And there it is, negative 2 1/3. Let me just make sure I got that right. Let's see, where are you? There you are, negative 2 1/3. All right, that's the video for Friday. It should be Friday when I post this. Mr. Laurence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.